story, how I heard about it, and how it relates to this kind of training here. Originally from a small town upstate New York, I went to college at Coastal Carolina. I played baseball in school, ended up getting hurt, and I was soft. I dropped out of school, I don't have a college degree. If anybody tells you you have to be smart to make money, they're completely wrong. They're probably broke. So my story, kind of like a lot of these other guys, hey, you know, I'm a little bit older, 29, pushing 30. Richard, you know, we're in the YPR coming up. Sorry about that. But I was a personal trainer. I moved to New York City. I lived there for like 3.5 years. Did the corporate America thing. You know, somebody told me what time I had to come in, what time I got to go home, how much money that was worth. You know, I worked 3 jobs just to pay my bills. You know, so if we're saying this, it's because of experience. We've all done it before. You know, and it's really not working out. So my story, I moved right back to Myrtle Beach. My girlfriend dragged me back there. She was in college at the time. And I was in the gym one day. And a kid one day had a verb with him, and I asked him what it was all about. I saw Richard driving a BMW or Mercedes. It said free car on it, and I was like, you know, what's that all about? And he kind of told me, gave me a little bit more info. I inquired about it, but he never followed up with me. It was like 2 weeks later, I was like, you know, what's this kid doing? I mean, I'm begging him for him to tell me more about this stuff. How many of you guys would love for someone to say, hey, I want to sign up with Verb? Hurry up, I'm going to sign up right now, 150 on the spot. You know, never got back to me, so I hit him up, and he sent me on a Monday night call with Brad. And Brad's story just resonated well with me, and I just said, hey man, if this kid is my age, making that kind of money, why can't I do it? You know, so I remember the text I sent this kid, Will, and I said, what do I do next? He goes, go to my website and enroll. I signed up. He goes, I'll meet with you tomorrow. So I met with him the next day. He said this, and this is kind of what we're saying about making a huge contact list. He said, I want you to write down as many people as you can humanly think of, because you're going to meet this guy, Richard Bishop. And he's like, he wants to know that you're really serious about this. So I was going through my Facebook, I was going through like Instagram, I was going through my Twitter, I was going on like the telephone books, I was going on people I didn't even know, I was looking at mailboxes. I had like 500 people. And I met Richard the next day. He didn't even ask me for my contact list. You know, so I just wanted to do that. So how do we build this business out of state? My biggest thing was, you know, we've added over 5,000 kids in 11 months. Like Jeffrey said, you know, 1,500 still active. Everybody doesn't really stay in the business. You know, that's okay. We only enroll with the right ones. I've enrolled 7 people out of 5,000. Say that again. I've enrolled 7 people that's turned into over 5,000, 1,500 still active. So everybody in this room has Facebook, correct? If you don't have Facebook, raise your hand. Should be hitting the attack hammer if you don't, because Facebook is, you know, the world these days. So out of your Facebook, out of your 500, 800,000 friends, do you guys think that every one of you guys can go out and find 5, 6, 10, 12 friends that want to make extra money and struggle in the economy? Everybody put your chin to your chest, say yes. Yes. Okay, good. And you can help them go on their Facebook and do the exact same thing. That's all that we do. But here's the goal. Here's the first thing that you do. Reach out to the people that you can physically grab a hold of. Because it creates excitement. You know? How you guys see the videos? You see Alex's team, Brad's team, Bryce's team. Everybody, they're packing the rooms. You know, the first thing that you do is you reach out to a kid in New York, you reach out to a kid in California, you reach out to a kid in Vegas. Well, guess what? It's tough to see that excitement. You know, so make that contact list, but first grab a hold of the people that you can talk to in person. Once you've exhorted all those contacts and they've came to a home event and let your upline do all the work, then you can start reaching out to those kids in different states. You know, but I think the biggest thing that's going to make you the most successful is that once you enroll somebody in a different state, you need to communicate well with them. And it's not bothering them every single day. You need to reach out and say, hey man, what's up? You need to be aware of, hey, what events that they're having, who's doing well, who's struggling. I mean, we have a team out in Vegas. Like, we talk about late nights, early mornings. Well, how about we do both? We were up till 3, 4 o'clock 3 times a week because of their time difference and doing training with them. Not enrolling people, we're just doing trainings with them to make sure that they're successful. So communication, know who's good, know who's, you know, struggling, who's having tough times inviting. You know, those are the biggest keys that you need to do to be successful when you're developing a team out of state. Second thing is, hang on one second. I wasn't lucky enough to have a slideshow. Thank you. It's your job to be a leader. And I know everybody touches upon that as being a leader. You have to practice what you preach. How many kids do you guys know that their Facebook just says, hey, I went out and partied tonight, I'm drunk, I'm hungover, I'm at the movies, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and then they're saying to you, man, well, why didn't you build your business today? Why didn't you do a home event? You know, why are you, so much higher than somebody else? You have to be that leader that you say you are. I know E.T. says it, you're not successful, so as bad as you want to breathe. Make those sacrifices. Don't be like your friends. Guys, how many of your friends are really financially successful? Go ahead and say it. 0, say it a little bit louder. So why do we do what everybody else does and expect something different to happen to us? Isn't that the definition of insanity? So separate yourself from everybody else. Give up partying, give up those video games, but be that leader. You can't expect your downline to reach out to you every single day. If you have thousands of kids like these two guys, you're only going to roll with the people that roll up with you. So it's your job, to kind of be that leader. Help your upline do the work too. Next thing is managing versus leading. What's the difference? I had Diamond pretty fast, and then I said, hey, I remember talking to Brad one day. He was in Myrtle Beach, and I said, Brad, I'm contacting all these kids every single day. Hey, what do you need problems with? What are you doing, to build your business? And I was kind of in management mode. I wasn't going out and trying to actively build the business myself. I was like, all right, yeah, I have 5, 6 kids in it. Let's help these kids do everything. No, you need to lead by example. You can't go out and be this boss. How many of you guys like your bosses? Are you your own boss? That's why? Yeah. Oh, man. But that's what we're saying is like, hey, nobody likes to be told what to do. Nobody likes a dictator. You need to go out. Constructive criticism is one of the biggest things. Be coachable. We all the time. I know Richard does it. I know Jeffrey does it all the time. I know Jason does it. Hey, we'll do training calls, and we'll see what we need to work better on. It's not about, hey, what can I help you with? Hey, if we did a Skype with you today, and your team liked what we said, hey, does that work? We're always trying to figure out ways for us to be better. So that's what we're saying is really don't go into management mode. Lead by example. And the last thing is, I got this from Brad. I was lucky enough for Brad to come to my hometown. We had a big group with him. I spent 24 hours with that boy, and I was like, how does he do it? That boy spends nights on couches, hotel rooms, other people's beds, you name it, where he doesn't sleep. The next day, I was begging for a nap. And he was traveling. I remember the week that he came up and he was saying all this in New York. He was in Phoenix. He was in California. He flew to Texas. He was at Penn State, Myrtle Beach, Charlotte, and then he was in New York. Then he went to New York City, and then he flew back to San Diego all in a matter of like 8 days. Imagine that. Imagine being tired. But like we say, hey, you need to go out and help your team do the work. If your team is an hour away from you, you need to drive there. You need to say, hey, I'm a real person. Your success is in my best interest. We're not successful in this business until you help other people become successful. There's no invested interest for me to say anybody in this room, hey, go spend $150, call me back up next month, let me know how I do. Because I know if you do this business by yourself, you will not be successful. Like we just said, how many of our friends are successful financially? 0. So why are they going to listen to you on how to make money if you're making $8 an hour cutting out foot on Subway? You know what I'm saying? So go out, show that effort. For example, I flew back yesterday. I was in New York for a week. And then Tuesday I'm flying back. There's a couple kids that are close to hitting their next rank, gold and diamond. We're going to go and build that till next Thursday. So do what I know it's kind of cliche what we always say. Is what does it take? Whatever it takes. Don't make excuses. Lead by example and be excited. Because, guys, we haven't even scratched the surface of this thing. I don't even know the right numbers. Don't quote me on this. I think there's 175,000 people actively doing this in the world. Is that kind of correct?
Right around it.
Right around that. How many is between the ages of 18 to 26? I think it's like 25, 30,000. If not, there's 50 million kids in college. There's a 55% unemployment rate. What's going to happen in the next 3 years, if not sooner, when we do 1 billion? Everybody's heard of Mary Kay and Avon, right? Ladies, we can't talk about lotions, makeups, and hand soaps, can we? Guys, I can't talk to you about that either. We have something that resonates well with the kids in our age group. Avon last year did $12 billion in sales. Imagine if you did Avon in year 5 when they first started. How much money would you make? Go ahead and say a lot.
A lot.
What happens if we're on this now when they do 1 billion? And what's going to happen when they do 1 billion a month? Guys, if that doesn't excite you, put your fingers up to your neck and see if you guys have a pulse. Thank you.